My friend is going to a gala and she asked me to do something to her hair. So now she recently cut her hair off because she had been dyeing it and frying it for some years now and she wanted to start fresh, start new. So she cut her own hair off. It does need a little trim, but we're going to leave it alone for today. Now, what I'm doing is basically framing out the part that I want to go up. Typically, you would call this style half up, half down, but it's not really half. It's like a quarter of her head up and the rest down. So I'm basically parting that out and it looks good on both sides. So now I'm going to be parting out the leave out. So now we had some difficult time trying to figure out what was best to do for this style, if I wanted to do a quick weave thing in the back or do sewing in the back. And based off time, we just came to the conclusion that let's go ahead and do a quick weave because she also wanted it to be nice, flat, sleek, and classy. So that's what we decided on. I recently learned a technique to decide if your leave out is thick enough, and that is when you're parting it and you flip it over the edge of your comb. If you can see the comb like I can just now, then that means your leave out is not thick enough. So you want to add a little bit more hair until you cannot see the comb at all under the hair. Now that is a game changer for me because y'all know I like to leave out excess, leave out that, is just too much sometimes because I just hate the hair showing. So that just changed the game for me, and I hope this works on this style. We're gonna see at the end. So now I'm just braiding this out the way, and this is the leave out, guys, that's gonna go over the quick weave. And after I'm done braiding this and putting this away, I'm going to start on the quick weave process, which I'm so happy to detail for you guys because I get so many questions whenever I do the quick weaves, and I'm so ready to jump down y'all throat and let y'all know what I'm doing. Now, we haven't gotten to the important part, but the braids are important as well. So the first braid that I'm going to be doing for the quick weave portion of this style is going to go from the top to the back across the nape. Now, sometimes people like to stop right when they hit the nape and don't go across the back end of it. And I find that that could be difficult for the client when it's snagging on her little hairs at the back. A lot of people are sensitive at the back of their neck. And when you just stop there and start lifting the braid up, that tends to hurt them. So one of my techniques is going across the nape. This also helps to frame out where I want to put the hair. It doesn't leave it bulky at the back like it does if I just started flipping up, flipping up. If you understand what I'm trying to say as far as the flip up method of flipping the ends of the braids up into the next braid, sometimes the back of that can look a little bulky. So I like to put a braid going across the nape so that it doesn't leave that bulky effect, as well as it protects the client's hair. So now I just flip that braid up into that braid and started braiding it down. So that's what I mean. So my flipping up method now starts on the rest of the braids, but the first braid that I do is going to go across the nape. So now I'm on the last braid, and the last braid always ends in a center for me, and then I end up flipping the braid on the right hand side and the braid on the left hand side into that last braid. I braid it out and I just tuck it in between the hairs that are flipped up. So now I'm just going to oil the scalp. Right now I'm using the Mael, their rosemary, I think, the green bottle oil, just so that her scalp is oiled. Because we know quick weaves can be itchy and annoying, so I just want to make sure she doesn't have a dry scalp going into this style. So now the weave wonder. This is not glue. This is a protectant. This is what some of y'all lose your minds over because you don't understand. So this is going to make a barrier between her natural hair and the glue. So now I'm pressing in where her line is because I really want this, when it dries, to completely protect her hair, because that's where I'm going to be placing the glue, especially so that, you know, it sticks to her scalp, but it's not going to go to her scalp. This is going to protect it from going to her scalp, but I also want the cap to kind of stick to her head so that the whole style doesn't fall apart. Like I said, it's a barrier. So after you put that all over the part that you're going to be sticking the glue on, you want to dry it under the dryer for at least probably 20 to 30 minutes, honestly, until the cap is completely dry. You don't want to start putting glue on the cap when it's still wet. That's how people get fungus and stuff like that. So you definitely want the cap to dry completely before starting to add the glue. So now I'm just measuring out the weave and adding it to as I go, but I always curve up. And this style I also wanted to do because it allows me to add in so much hair. Even though it's quick weave, I do not recommend doing quick weave with really, really good hair. But this hair was some good hair. But she said she doesn't normally save her hair after. So we didn't really care if, you know, the hair was going to be cut up and damaged. We just wanted a quick style. So that is the last quick weave we're adding into this style. And I'm making sure it goes along the line. That's why I made sure the Weave Wonder was fully up until the line or the parting right before her leave out braid, so that that last quick weave could go directly along that line. And now I'm just going through with the blow dryer and making sure the glue is dry before I move on to the next part. Now all she has to do to get this off is literally run some water through her hair. Once that Weave Wonder is wet, the entire cap and the hair will come off of her natural hair, nothing damaged. So now once I've done that, you want to cut the cap. And this is when they're probably going to say it feels like the whole thing is falling off their head, which she did say. But it's not. It's just the cap. It's loosening up off her head. And so it does feel like that. It can, however, because like I said, there is a barrier between her natural hair and the glue, it can feel like it's not completely stuck to her head. So you kind of have to find those weak spaces and make sure that it's glued down properly so that this style can at least last her the week to 2 weeks that she needs it to last her for. So now that I've done that, I want to go in on the top row and basically flat iron her hair out, make it straight so that I can sleek it down with the Got to Be Glued spray and get it into a ponytail. And you guys, I will definitely link everything in the comment section. If we're on Facebook, it's going to be in the comments. If we're on YouTube, it will be in the description section. Everything that you need that I've used in this video will be linked for you. It probably will be an Amazon link. And just a disclaimer, I do make commission off those links. However, it doesn't mean that you have to pay extra than what you would normally pay if you just went direct to Amazon. So now I'm just taking the Got to Be Glued spray and just spraying it along within the ponytail area, out on the outside of the ponytail area. And I'm combing to the center to make sure every hair is straight and laid down and going directly into the ponytail. Now you want to make sure that this is centered because it's so easy to not hit the center. I know it, but it is easy to not hit the center and it shows if you don't. So before you move on, once you put this in a ponytail, get in front of your client and ensure that that ponytail is centered. So I ended up adding another rubber band on it just to make it secure. And I'm continuously spraying so that we have a nice foundation. Now I'm going to braid the end out and put a rubber band on the end. Now this wrap is wrapping paper. This is supposed to protect her ponytail from the glue. This is what that is for. It's to make a barrier between her ponytail and the glue, and I folded the tip down to make it stronger. And now we're going to glue the excess hair onto the ponytail And I feel like this way is so much faster than putting the glue on the hair itself. I just put the glue along the ponytail and just wrap the hair up, and it does the same job, just much, much faster. As you can tell, I do it in increments. So I'll put some on, maybe like 1.5 to 2 inches up, and then I'll wrap, and then I'll go back in again. So now that I'm at the end, I want the ponytail to be a little bit thicker. So now I'm putting the glue on the weave itself and wrapping it around the base of the ponytail. So now that we have the ponytail completed, what we want to do is pull some hair from the back. And I'm just curling this hair so that it makes it easier for it to wrap around the ponytail itself. I employed her to hold the hair, and then I'm kind of going back and putting the wax on it, and I'm laughing because literally I just undo the curling. So but the wax is better. It's going to keep all the hairs in line, and then as I'm wrapping the hair around, I'm spraying the Gots to Be Glued so that it keeps that in frame. And once I've reached the end, I put some glue on the end, and this is gonna make sure that the hair stays and sticks, and just spraying a little bit more Got to Be glue on it just so that everything stays. We don't want it to move. We don't want it to do anything but stay how I put it. So now I'm unraveling her leave out, and I'm going to straighten that, and then I'm gonna go in afterwards and curl her hair. So I'm using the T3 curling iron to curl her hair, and I do love this curling iron. I've mentioned it before. However, I didn't tell you guys the con of this curling iron is that I hate when the hair can get a little bit stuck in between the barrel and the handle of the curling iron. If you guys don't know anything about this curling iron, it detaches, so you can have different size barrels. You can even have a wand, and it all attached to the handle of the curling iron. But right where the curling iron meets the handle, there's a little crack there that sometimes the hair can get stuck. Even though I love the curling iron, and I wouldn't, I just think it's the best one I've found so far since I've been doing hair. I just hate that part of it, which can be dangerous for your hair. Just thought I would let you guys know that. So now I'm using a wax stick by Cara Care, and I am just laying her edges. And this is the final look, you guys. Oh my gosh, she looks so beautiful. The hair turned out so great. And like I said, she's going to a gala, and I just think this is a great style. It's nice, it's cute, and it's classy. And yeah, I can't wait to show you guys a picture. I'll insert a picture of her at the gala at the end so you guys can see how she looked overall. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, all the info will be in the description for you guys or in the comment section. And if you're interested in purchasing anything that I use, or you really be wanting to know what I'm using to achieve these styles, that's where it will be. And most of these things are in my Amazon storefront.